idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 165. Dolemite is my name. This is available on Netflix. This is a review of that movie. It is available on Netflix. I just said that, but I think it's worth repeating. So make sure you check that out before watching the episode, because we're just going to talk about the whole thing if you're new to the show. This is starring Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes,
Keegan-Michael Key, Mike Epps, Craig Robinson, Titus Burgess, Da'Vine Joy Randolph, and others.
So this is about the making of the original 1975 Dolemite film, which we did on episode 161. So you can go back and check that out. You should absolutely watch the original film first before watching this. I cannot stress that enough. So let's talk about this. Terrence, you had seen this before. Mike and I hadn't seen this until watching it for the show. What are your thoughts, to reiterate for folks who hadn't heard?
Yeah, I did the review for it when it came out in its limited release in the theater. I thought it was fine. Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
All of the acting's fine. Like, it didn't knock my socks off and like that. I just thought it was a fun movie. But then when you actually watch the original movie and realize these niggas wasn't joking, it was like, yo, this is insane. Look, Eddie Murphy was great. Like, again, he was just donkey.
Yeah, he was just himself.
He was himself. Like,
right.
he doesn't really necessarily embody Rudy Ray Moore at all. To be honest with you, I don't know what impression he was doing. That wasn't it. He was just kind of reciting his lines.
Right, he had the cadence, but that was about it.
Yeah, that's about it. It's just a feel good movie. Like, that's all I can say. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, again, I enjoyed it, but
do you think it should be in the list of Oscar films?
No.
Some people have suggested.
I know that. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Like, I think I just like the fact that Eddie Murphy is back and he's cursing, just like his Saturday Night Live appearance.
Right.
That's it. Y'all just love to see him back and not being able to just let loose, because he cursed on the show a couple times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he fucked up. But yeah, it's fine. I'd give it like a 2.5, 3 out of 5.
Okay, Micah.
I agree with you. This movie is nowhere near as funny as its subject matter, but
yeah.
But Eddie Murphy's back. First R-rated movie since 1999.
Wow.
If you could believe that.
Is that Metro?
Life.
I don't even think.
Oh, Life. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay. I mean, hidden fucking
Martin Lawrence, yeah. But what this movie is, it is a good movie about the American dream, basically.
Yeah.
This guy had a vision, and he had self-confidence, and he had like ambition. What am I going to do with all this ambition? I'm going to make a terrible movie. That's what you're going to do with it. But it is very cool to see that this guy with no talent is able to. I mean, he has no talent, guys. Like, even his bit that he is most famous for, he in his own words stole it from some bums. Right. So he has no talent, but he decided that he is going to make it, and he does it.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring is what this movie is. I did enjoy it. It like you said, Terrence, I did not see Rudy Ray Moore in Eddie Murphy at all.
No.
But I get it, and I can suspend disbelief. I get it, and part of me feels like maybe this is Eddie Murphy, like, in his comeback, like he felt some kind of way about this particular story. Like,
I can see that, because a lot of comedians / like hip hop artists, like, they look up to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. His legacy is is what it is. And I guess he's like I want to play him, but he sure. Eddie,
it was fine. It was fine. I enjoyed it though. It was. I'm not saying don't watch it.
Yeah.
I think you should watch it. It's probably a 3.5. You know, it's worth a watch. It's nominated for a bunch of Golden Globes, which air tonight as of this recording. So I'm very curious to see what the Hollywood foreign press thinks about a bunch of niggas running around playing a bunch of niggas.
Yeah. What is it up for? Like best comedy?
Best comedy musical, yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that though.
Like if it
I want to see what else is nominated.
whatever. Who cares?
Like it doesn't need to be anywhere in the like best picture category at all. Like knock it off. Yeah, I think I would probably echo both of your sentiments. I had a good time with it.
Yeah,
like,
again, I did, but I'm like,
he's not Rudy Ray Moore at all. Like he's not doing an impression of him. It was like, here is the outline of what we want you to do, and they're like, and now here's footage of Rudy Ray Moore, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the first part and ignore the second part, right? Like he had the cadence down and stuff like that, but he didn't even really change his voice at all to be more.
Ken.
No,
Right. I mean, it's just Eddie Murphy.
Well, I mean, like
Eddie Murphy
that's the
was
thing, Eddie
never
Murphy-
super famous for, like, I know he has played characters like on SNL
I mean,
and
he's
stuff.
played Jews, he's played Africans, he's played dudes from New York. Like he can do it.
He can do
Yeah.
it, but I feel like, all right, like that was coming to America, but like, what else? You know what I mean? Like even his most famous SNL skit, which would be the James Brown skit, it's not even James Brown. It's just Eddie Murphy in a wig. Like, you know what I mean? And it's fine. It's also funny. Like, but I think it's funnier that he embodies like kind of the soul of the character than it is like an actual straight. Like, it's not like Jay Farrow does like a Denzel Washington impression. Like, you can close your eyes and be like, yo, that sounds like him. That's not what Eddie Murphy's doing. He's just kind of embodying the soul of the person. And in this case, he nails it, right? Which is, he's nailing this guy who is just dying to make it by any means. And you made a great point, Micah, which is, it is very much like the American dream personified, right? Yeah. Like he's like, I'm going to make it come hell or high water kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of nice to see a guy, like a real story of a guy who had, by all accounts, should not have made it. Like, he shouldn't have made it. He didn't have any fucking talent, right? He had no talent, but he took something that he saw and he made it work. Which, I mean, is actually more the American story of like, I'm just going to steal what these other niggas are doing. I will make it my own, right? So, in a way, it's kind of awesome to watch a guy just make it just like through just sheer force.
Yeah.
Right, just the power of just keep trying and just kind of banging at the door over and over and over again. So, yeah, look, I had a good time. I laughed my ass off at a lot of scenes. There's a scene at the end where where he's showing the film at a theater right before the premiere, but where he paid the guy the money to show the movie at midnight. And the guy says to him, which is the line that we said during our review, like, is this supposed to be funny? Like, is this movie supposed to be funny? Because I thought it was supposed to be like a serious crime film. And he's like, yeah, it's a comedy. That's why they're laughing. I'm like, nigga, they're laughing at you because this movie is ridiculous. But in that way, it becomes a cult classic, right? But like I said at the top of the show, it behooves you to watch the original movie and then watch this. Because if you just watch this by itself, it's like, oh, okay, like, whatever. But if you watch the movie, especially recently, and you see those scenes, you're like, yo, this shit is insane. And then to watch this movie and to know that this is how these guys got this done is actually pretty dope. So, yeah, it's cool to see Eddie Murphy back. I don't know that I'm ready to profess that he's back to the level he was or whatever, because, again, this isn't stand-up comedy. And stand-up comedy is a whole different ballgame.
You're right.
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall just came out with a stand-up comedy special.
I love stand-up. I didn't even bother.
I wouldn't have tried. I know it came out. I didn't
try either. I just saw the trailer. And I was like, nothing you said is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he was never a
stand-up. I've never ever seen a stand-up.
That's his first.
Oh, hell
Is
no.
it?
I believe that's his first televised stand-up.
Why would you do that at like 50, 60 years old, Joe?
Yeah, no, that didn't work for me.
Oh.
Like, look, sit on a couch, interview Macho Man. That's fine. And Jason Voorhees for some fucking random ass reason. That's fine. But I'm not watching a Arsenio
That
Hall
was
stand-up.
really weird.
Yeah, he had odd guests on that show.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Macho Man is in like full regalia.
I'm not a racist.
It's one of the greatest lines from that interview. Oh, he's a real person.
Eddie Murphy was 58 years old filming this movie. How old do you think Rudy Ray Moore was?
He looked every bit of 58.
Well, Rudy Ray Moore was born in what, 1932 or something? Because I remember looking up his age, and that was 70.
75.
Rudy
The
Ray
movie came out in
Moore-
75.
Rudy Ray Moore was 47 when Dolemite was filmed.
Wow, holy shit.
Wesley Snipes, 57, played D'Urville Martin. D'Urville Martin was 35 when he directed
Wait,
that
D'Urville
movie.
Martin was 35? That little nigga in the movie.
Yo, he looked mad old.
Looked way older than 35.
Yeah, niggas in 75 looked,
Yeah, they look
like
older.
way more adult than we did doing a certain age. That's hilarious. Look, living was just harder back then.
I guess.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, look, I had a good time with it. I really did. I thought everyone was pretty good. I mean, I thought Eddie Murphy was good. I thought Wesley Snipes was good. His scenes were pretty funny. He was a piece of shit. Yeah, it was really weird seeing Cody Smith McPhee. I was like, yo, aren't you Nightcrawler? What the fuck are you doing in this movie? And he's also just a gangly, weird looking kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just there was a lot of really good folks in the cast. I thought did a really good job. I thought Da'Vine Joy Randolph as Lady Reed. I thought she was very
she
good.
was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I thought she kind of had like the real heart of the story in a lot of ways. And especially her. I mean, look, I'm not going to pretend I didn't feel a little something when she had her line at the end about like being given a chance and never seeing somebody on screen that looks like her. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I just like the introduction of her character. It was like, yo, she pushed the shit out of that
Shit out that nigga. That's like, good look. Like they speed ramped it. Like I think she really hit that nigga.
And he quit right there. He was like, yo, fuck this production.
Like and action. Like you weren't supposed to hit him. Like,
I didn't like him.
It's like I just had to. He brought it out of me.
But I just thought it was great. So all in all, I thought it was funny. And actually, the person who I liked the least was Mike Epps. I did not enjoy him in this movie. Yeah, you're not a huge Mike Epps fan.
No, I'm not.
I didn't hate him.
I didn't. No, I'm just saying I liked him the least of the main characters. I really did. So yeah, Titus Burgess I thought had a couple of lines that were pretty fucking hilarious. They're in jail. What they gonna do all day? They could be fucking. Yeah, we ain't talking about that. Yo, let me relax, my nigga. That shit had me rolling. That was pretty funny. So yeah, I thought it worked. All right, Mike.
In 1970s Los Angeles, Rudy Ray Moore is a struggling artist working in a record store trying to get his music on the air in the in-store radio station DJ'd by Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, look. I saw this in the theater, right? Mm-hmm. And this first scene, when this came on, I'm like, oh, Jesus.
I know, yeah.
Like, when it started, I'm like, oh.
Snoop Dogg is in a movie, yo.
What am I in for?
What are we doing here, guys?
By the way, Snoop Dogg looks really old, man.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
not even 50 yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's looking a little old now.
he looking a little haggard. I was like, wow, yo.
Yeah, Snoop is getting old.
That's how I know I'm old. Snoop Dogg is old.
Right. I mean, I remember his first album.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's
like
insane.
92?
Something like that. 90, yeah, 92, 93. Well, no, I guess I was probably in high school, so probably 94. I knew I wasn't old enough to listen to that shit around my parents. That's what I do know.
Right. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. What are they talking about?
Ice cream?
They ain't talking about beer.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Gangbacks. At night, he moonlights as an MC for his friend Ben Taylor and Taylor's musical group at the club. He asks the owner of the club for some time to do comedy, but the owner turns him down. Who is the owner? He looks familiar.
I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, but he's been in a
I
bunch of stuff.
recognize
He
him.
looks super familiar. Yeah. So he asks the owner of the club for some time to do comedy, but the owner turns him down. at the record store one day, a homeless man comes wandering in and begins making loud, rhyming proclamations.
Yeah, that's the dude.
Ron Cephas Jones.
Yeah, that's
there
the
it
dude from. That's the father from.
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
Fine ass daughter.
Yeah, super fine daughter. Super fine Jones, and
I like him actually a lot. And that dude,
he's a good actor, man.
he's a very good actor, but it's weird because he didn't start acting until like 1994.
How old is he?
He's 62 years old. That's crazy. Like, that's super crazy. But yeah, he was just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and start now. But he's done really well for himself in like pretty much
a lot of television.
A lot of television. Yeah, I mean, he started doing TV acting in '96, and then movie acting a little bit before that, '94. So, but he was in He Got Game, Paid in Full, Half Nelson, Across the Universe, Titus.
It's funny how people have all these
Dog
film
Days,
credits and
Venom.
you never notice them, and all of a sudden they blow up, and it's like now you know their name.
Right, exactly. Like, this guy's like, yo, I've been in movies forever.
Right, I've been acting for years. Right, like Regina King is finally getting her shine, and she was the daughter in 227.
I remember her.
Absolutely.
30 years ago. If she'd been acting, she was like 6 years old.
Right,
She's like, good, finally, thanks. I had to play a cop and then watch a white man get lynched before y'all motherfuckers notice me. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, thank you for that.
So yeah, Ron Cephas Jones comes in making loud rhyming proclamations, one of which includes the name Dolemite. So Moore gets the idea to create a stage persona telling these stories at a club he works at. He basically found this he went to Bum Alley and I guess they hired a real bum because that one homeless dude was woo.
I mean, I have to say, like, yeah, he's a little rough to look at, but and that's not to make fun of him.
Not to make fun of. I'm saying
like he has real facial deformities.
Is what this was.
Right, like he had real facial deformities, and I was like, for this movie of all movies, not like a goofball. This is like a pretty goofball movie. For them to hire somebody with like serious facial deformities, I thought was like, okay, that was like pretty bold move.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally they just like throw some dirt on some thespian and be like, get out there and read these lines.
And that's kind of the crux of the actual Dolemite movie, right? Like, he's hiring people to be in this movie that, I mean, because they, for whatever reason, can't afford beautiful people, or they just aren't beautiful people.
Right.
But they hire who they find.
Right.
And to this movie's credit, it's doing it.
Right. And there is, in a weird way, there is some beauty in that, right? There's beauty in
it makes the movie feel genuine. Right.
And the funny thing is, black folks, especially in this era, had to do that. Like, the budgets and everything for these Blaxploitation movies was
next to nothing.
Next to nothing. I mean, they made Dolemite for $100,000. That's crazy.
It shows.
What's that?
It shows.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely it does. But it also made $12 million, which is crazy. That's impressive. That's a pretty decent profit.
This movie's directed by Craig Brewer, who also did Hustle and Flow and Black Snake Moan. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah. Like, I've never seen Hustle and Flow, but
it's not terrible.
I want to do that.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It won an Oscar.
It has an Academy Award.
Yeah, it won an Oscar.
3 6 Mafia has a fucking Academy Award for best soundtrack or whatever.
Best song. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of his thing. Like, his movies are like dirty.
Yeah. Black Snake Moan is just a dirty ass movie. It just needs a bath the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chain this white woman up. Like, cool, but could you put some Purell on your hands? Anything? You're just dirty.
But that's what he does. So like I got that. I don't know.
It has that same feel, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So Rudy Ray Moore decides to get the idea to create this stage persona of Dolemite and tell his stories working at the club that he works at. So he comes in dressed in a pimp attire, brandishing a cane, Moore takes the stage at the club as Dolemite and launches into a crudely humorous, and foul-mouthed routine titled "The Signifying Monkey."
Okay, hold on a second. I found this to be better delivered by Eddie Murphy than I found it to be delivered by Rudy Ray Moore. I have to say, it was much more interesting. Because like those parts in Dolemite, I was like, fast forward. I didn't care about any of it.
I started watching The Human Tornado.
I hear that one's even crazier.
Like in the first 10 minutes, it's just a stand-up. It's just Rudy Ray Moore doing stand-up.
No,
seriously, it's like him shitting on the crowd and doing stand-up.
All right, I'll listen to him shit on the crowd.
I can't listen.
It's funnier than the signifying monkey shit.
Okay,
because he's actually telling jokes.
Okay, he's actually telling jokes. Because I don't like this.
I started listening to a couple albums, and I'm just like, yo, he's just telling weird stories that no one can relate to. That's such a 2020
perspective. Like, no one can relate to any of this.
Like, what does this even mean?
Right. And all I'm reminded of now that I have a kid and I'm looking at all these different like books that we're reading to him. One of them you have, it's about a giraffe that can't dance.
Yeah.
Yo, it's just like one of these skits without the cussing in it.
Yeah, it is. It's a child story.
Right.
It's a child story.
And it's just like
it weirdly just as offensive in some ways. I'm like, yeah, we literally scratched it out of our daughter's book, and I'm like, we're not reading.
It's a jungle dance.
I'm like, what the fuck is it? A jungle dance, bitch? I'm like, what the fuck? Come on,
it's an African jungle.
It's an African jungle dance. I'm not teaching my black daughter. A white person did. I'm not teaching my black daughter that
so the
bullshit.
Giraffe couldn't do an African jungle dance?
They have an
African jungle
They have a dance in Africa in the jungle. It's called jungle dance. And everybody gets there, right? Like the lions can dance and the rhinos can dance, but God damn it, this giraffe just can't fucking dance.
He can't get on the He can't get on the 2-4. He's only on the 1.
And then Jiminy Cricket or whatever comes and is like, oh, just believe in yourself and you can dance. And then he can dance.
The children's stories are dumb.
They're dumb. Book. And it's just like this.
It is. It's
way down in the jungle deep. This giraffe got 2 left feet. It's the same thing, man.
So yeah, if you're reading your kids stories like that, you're just let them listen to Dolemite. It's fine. Okay, sure. It's fine. What's the difference?
Well, apparently there's a lot of children in the audience because they all love it. And Taylor and
having the mind of a child is not that different than being a child.
Taylor and his group joined Dolemite on stage to back him up, and the crowd applause. So we cut to a scene where Rudy is at his aunt's house, and he asks his aunt for money to record a comedy album.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty funny scene.
Yeah, it was. The aunt is Lunell.
Look, I find Lunell's comedy is not my cup of tea. But I do find some of her stuff funny, and I actually found the scene funny. The thing with Lunell is I find her to be so fucking crass, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, it does. And I know that's her whole bit, is like she just don't give a fuck. I should just say anything. I'm just like, but you saw my grandma. You're making me mad uncomfortable. But that's her whole bit. And I think that, from that perspective, I find her funny.
So he wants to borrow money from her to record an album entitled "Eat Out More Often."
Yeah, this is genius.
He gets his friend Jimmy Lynch, played by Mike Epps, to record him at his home in front of an audience. After making several copies of the record, Moore begins to sell them out of the trunk of his car.
Which is the start of that whole
like the first mixtape says.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
The record proves to be very popular, obtaining the attention of a record company who they're like, yo, oh, you listen to this? Like, what do you think this guy can cross over? No.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That guy was like, so what? No. Now, hold on a second, because this is an important point. He does this comedy, like, I literally watched this morning, and I was like, yo, that is a genius-ass move that he does, which is he wants to record this comedy album, but he can't do it in a club. He don't got the money to do that. So he just has a party at his house and just plies everybody with liquor. Gets all these women in there and just like has a party and then records it. So they're all laughing their asses off because they're drunk as shit.
Yeah.
And he gets this like great recording. So it sounds like he's in a club when there's like, 20, 30 people there. Right. And it's just a smart ass move.
Yeah.
Like it's just brilliant. Like that is sort of that entrepreneurial spirit. Like that to me, I was like, okay, I totally did.
He even had one of his hype men come up, Mike Epps or whatever. He was like, hey, here's some liquor. And remember, we recording, so just like big, like, and that's what stand-ups do when if you're at a live stand-up that's being recorded for Netflix or something like that, like they supply you and they want you to get.
Oh, do they give you drinks and stuff?
Yeah, they want you to get.
Free.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Probably
it might be cheap, but it
half
ain't,
off.
But yeah, because they want you to be uproarious,
right? Because like stand up with no laughs,
oof, that's brutal.
It's like a fucking wrestling match when there ain't nobody cheering. That shit hurts.
Oh,
You're like,
keep going.
Your entrance music turns on and everybody's sitting down, just looking. Huh?
Who that? What? So that scene I thought was really, really quite good. Yeah, it was just a super smart move. It really was. So the other part, I'm just looking at this scene, and look, I don't mean to be offensive. I truly don't. But Titus Burgess is in this scene where they're getting everybody ready for the party or whatever. If they ever, I'm an asshole. I'm just gonna say that now. If they ever decide to do a movie with Esther Roll, they should just get Titus Burgess to play. Yo, he looks like fucking Florida. Yo, come on, yo. Yo, he does. He does. Yo.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yo, look at this fucking image. Yo, he does. Yo, he does. Yo, Titus Burgess could play Esther Roll. Yo, knock it off. And that has, by the way, that has nothing to do with the fact that he's gay. I don't give a shit about that. I'm just saying he looks like Esther Roll in that.
He really
scene.
does.
He fucking does.
Who played Esther Roll in the Good Times live?
They weren't as good as Titus Burgess would be. And he's actually funny. I guarantee he can pull it off.
I didn't see the Good Times one. I just watched the All in the Family and the Jeffersons one that came out a couple months ago.
Oh my god!
Jimmy Fox fucked up so much.
Yeah, to the point where he was like, "It's live."
Right, he did. I was like, it was funny, but like, you fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
He doesn't
be a
show like
professional,
Sherman
bro.
Helmsley to
Supposed to
me.
be a professional. This record company, they're like, is he gonna cross over? Like, yeah, he's gonna cross over to the other black people who
On the other side of the street,
right? Who don't buy records out of trunks of cars.
Also, I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
So there's a quick scene that I thought was pretty funny of the record execs who just look like the Persian mafia, right? Like,
100%. Yeah.
And they're at this scene because they want to shoot the album cover, and here it is, right? You see this fine ass woman, right? And she's just all kinds of fine, right? And then you see Rudy Ray Moore, just big doughy ass. Sitting
What's wrong
there.
with being Portland?
And I'm like, yo, is this the real cover of the album? It has to be, right? And I looked it up, and wow, it's just wow.
Yeah,
And he just dropped trial like bam, proud of himself.
Yeah,
with that big ass.
Yeah, that woman is ridiculous.
That woman is super fine. God damn.
Even in the theater, I was like, God damn. Can we pause this right quick?
Yep. So the other part that I thought was really, really interesting, and again, like maybe what Rudy Ray Moore's talent truly was marketing and branding, right? Because like, dude had this shit down. He has, when they make the album, they put a cover over it, right? Because you can't just have people's titties out. Like, you can't just be selling this shit, right? But they put like a plastic wrapping over it, and they have it stamped with like a devil on it that says like for adults only.
Yeah.
And Craig Robinson's character is like, it's like, what's up with the devil, man? Like, what the fuck is that all about? And he was like, I want people to think this is some dirty shit you ain't supposed to be listening to.
Yeah.
Which is, it's great marketing, right? Like, you're definitely not supposed to, this is not for kids. And then people are like, oh shit, it's not for kids? Like, and then, people want to rush to see it.
Yeah,
It's genius.
To your point later on, when they were looking at reviews of Dolemite.
Yep, exactly.
And one of the reviews was like, this is crude, rude, and impolite. He was like, great, that's an excellent review.
Yep.
Because people are going to want to see it to be like, well, what's so crude, rude, and impolite about it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it gives me, like, as independent work that we do, like, it gives me a lot of hope in watching somebody make it like this through just sort of viral shit. Like, they had a little bit of backing, but, like, not much.
Yeah,
they made this shit all on their own. This is pretty dope.
More offers to go on tour through the Deep South to promote the record.
He says the Chitlin Circuit.
The black people didn't write this Wikipedia entry. While in Mississippi, he befriends a single mother named Lady Reed.
Jesus Christ.
And convinces
Sorry, I'm
her.
looking at the album cover scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've looked at it like 3 times while you were talking. He befriends a single mother named Lady Reed and convinces her to join him as a part of his tour. Now, the intro for Lady Reed, Rudy Ray Moore is sitting up there doing, or no, he's in the back, peeking out, and he sees this woman coming up, and she's talking to this guy. And all of a sudden, she hauls off, cold cocks him. Right?
He smacks her first.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He smacks her. And you can't smack a black woman in a black movie and not get.
No, you can't let that stand. She got to get her. She got to get her comeback.
And she knocked the dog shit out of him. And I thought the woman, the woman that the guy was cheating with, she comes up, and I thought she was getting ready, but she saw that woman and was like, nah, I'm just gonna yell. Meanwhile, this Billy D. Williams looking dude is up here, and he's got the mic, right? He's the MC, right? And there's some go-go dancers there, and she's dancing, right? And what'd he say? I forget what he said, but he was like, yeah, they want to hear it. They want to hear it. They want to hear it sing for him. So he puts the mic up to this woman's twerking ass. And I'm like, yo, this is amazing. Like, what am I watching? And why have I not seen this in a club for real?
Yeah. I mean, it was talking. I ain't mad at you. God damn. That shit was hilarious. But that whole scene is actually really well done because, like, one, you got Rudy Ray Moore, like, looking out, watching this woman fucking cold cock the shit out of this guy, which was great. Because when she hits him, he was like, damn, like, goddamn, like, she knocked his ass out. She put him, like, he fell into the bar, like, oh shit, like, he was done.
But that was a fucking hit.
Yeah, no, it was serious. But, like, you have that juxtaposed with the guy on stage with the woman shaking her ass, like, all this shit. Also, you have, like, this background music that's actually really good. Like, the music that they were playing, getting ready to bring Dolemite out was awesome. And then they bring him out. Like, it was like a hell of an intro scene for him in that moment. I just thought it was really great.
Yeah. Yeah, she hit him so hard it knocked his hat off. Like, goodness gracious, yo. That's usually reserved for when you're about to perform a fatality on somebody.
If she had backhanded him over the bar... that's the only way this would have gotten better.
So Moore and his friends celebrate the success of the tour by taking in a movie. The movie was called The Front Page.
Yeah, this movie does not look funny.
They were like, "Hey, we're all having a good time. I'm in the mood to laugh."
Oh no, hold on! You're skipping over him talking to Lady Reed.
He befriends her.
Well, he tells her she should be
and
on
convinces
stage.
her to join him as part of the tour.
It's pretty progressive.
Yeah. Well, look, he looked out for people.
He clearly did. Do you think? And this is not to
because there are scenes the following scenes are of her on the tour,
right?
Like,
and they're singing like a
they're
duet.
they're doing a duet together. Like, so do you think? And this is not to be like shitty to Rudy Ray Moore at all. But do you think it's because he wasn't considered like a handsome guy
that's 100% the reason why. Like
he kept picking people that were
like,
unconventional.
I don't see people like me on screen. Like
Right.
I don't see why we can't be on screen too.
Right. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like, he is definitely not the conventional choice for a leading man. Like, not by
Like
any
somebody's
means.
uncle.
Yeah.
He said in the fucking original.
Yeah.
Like, ugly aunt and uncle having sex. Like, I don't want to see any of this. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And that's not to say Lady Reed is ugly. She's not. But just from America's view of like conventional beauty and leading women and things like that, she certainly doesn't fit that bill. But it was cool that he saw that in her.
Do you think, I mean, I already know the answer to this question. Do you think it's gotten better? Do you think it will get better?
I think it has gotten better. I think it gets better all the time. But no, we're far from even-handed.
We're far from complete blind casting.
No, and look,
I don't think that's ever going to be.
I mean, it's never going to be the case because, look, this is probably not going to be the most quote-unquote PC thing. Look, yeah, no, I'm going to actually myself right into getting dragged. There are some people, even unconventional-looking people, who still weirdly fit conventional modes of attraction, right? Like we talked about in that preview episode right before this. That guy was, saying Tiana Taylor was not attractive, right? You said she looked like a Rottweiler. Now, I would argue I don't think she looks like a Rottweiler. I think that's just ridiculous. But her face is not conventionally attractive, right? It's not. But her body, like, fits into the mold of very conventionally attractive. I think her face
I think she's beautiful.
I think she is beautiful. But I'm saying, like, when people look at her body in that fucking Kanye video, knock it the fuck off. Like, people just like, whether you find her face attractive or not, you're like, but the rest of it?
It's almost ridiculous how fucking in shape.
Right, no, thank you. You look at that picture. Exactly. That shit don't make no sense to me either.
What?
Like, nigga, who you dating?
All right,
The fuck?
all right.
Yeah, but again,
I blame white people for this. Normally, I try not to, but this is exclusively white people's fault with this, yo. This woman is gorgeous.
no, but
I'm not just talking about like the I'm lusting at her. Like, she's got a beautiful face. Yo.
But what I'm saying is, her face is not a conventional. But that is your
Right,
point.
she's
Is
got big lips, a black nose, and what else?
check. Zip.
Come on, yo.
Knock it off. No, I think she's fucking beautiful. But I'm just saying, from conventional, especially conventional white America, she would not be considered beautiful because of those looks.
This looks like Neil Long reincarnated, yo.
Yo, she cut but shredded. For some
Right, look at this. That tell me that don't invoke images of 1990s.
Nigga, right? That's the same outfit she was wearing in fucking Friday when she was jogging down the street.
Come on.
There's no plastic surgery.
Oh god.
She's got like the model cheekbones that everyone.
Right. Meanwhile, white women stick needles in their lips to get lips to look like that.
Right.
But this woman
somehow
is
she's
not attractive.
not. Right, she's not attractive. Right.
I blame white people and black
people who buy into that shit.
Who called her a Rottweiler?
Some nigga on the internet.
Yo, fuck you, nigga.
Yeah. But I was like, really? Because I didn't know who she was, and you and I were talking. You were like, yo, you should just Google her image. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with this guy? And who are you dating? Put a picture of your girlfriend up here. I bet she looked like a Doberman pinscher. Knock it off. Like, just knock it off. Oh, come on, yo. Come on, yo. Don't ever talk about some other woman not being attractive. You better be with somebody super fine. Even then you can't. All right, come on, yo. Did you spit out your trick? Good. That's why you should watch the video. That's why you should watch the video.
Yo, my stomach hurt.
Yeah, no, she's fine. But even if you didn't find her face to be extremely attractive, which I do, like, her body is very much in the conventional, what we would say. And so there's always going to be sort of conventional thinking. Everybody, like, not that everybody thinks that way, but there's always going to be a vast majority of people who find a certain thing attractive, more so than not. Look, and that shifts over time. I mean, let's not pretend that, like, in the early 90s, what was seen as conventionally very attractive to most of America were very thin women.
Yeah.
2020? Like,
Yeah, look
unless Thick got 2 C's on it, I don't want to talk about it.
Look at
I'm just saying, like, it's just more accepted.
Look at
about me.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back
Nigga,
video.
them women ain't have no ass.
I'm like, baby, got what now? What are we talking about?
Maybe you need to go back and find some ass because it's gone.
Maybe he
And
was.
they had black women in the video.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just lusting after their actual backs because they were all the way down to the split in their legs.
That's like one of the great errors of music videos. Like, yo, none of these women have ass. Like, none of them do.
Yeah, I mean, they did back in the 90s, apparently.
Right. But
Yeah,
like,
our perception of what ass is vastly different now.
Oh yeah, you make a
the
video called "Baby Got Back." You put those, people are like, "Yo, is this a joke?"
I'm like, this is a fucking rock video? Get the fuck out of here. What is this? Like, this, come on, yo. This picture right here.
Yeah, no,
That's her from, like, the Fade video.
Yeah. No, that's she looks terrible, Terrence.
Yeah.
Why would anyone
Awful.
find her attractive?
All right, yo, get out of here.
Yeah, look,
Black men are terrible. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know how you look at that woman and be like, not buying it. Like, dude, I'd love to see what kind of fucking sewer dweller touches your dick every night. Knock it off. Just knock it off. Anyway,
Moore and his friends celebrate the success of the tour by taking in a movie. The front page.
you seen this movie, Terrence? The front page.
Look, this scene is me.
I thought about you too.
What the fuck is this?
The front
This is
page.
me watching sketch comedy.
The front page is a 1974 American black comedy drama film directed by Billy Wilder, starring Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
Oh, so it's the Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Odd Couple was actually funny. This was not.
The majority white audience of the theater finds the film hilarious, but Moore and his friends do not. This is the most understated statement in this write-up for Wikipedia. Like,
I mean, in fairness, like when you literally are watching the movie and they're playing scenes from the front page, like, because at one point my captain's like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Yo, and they're like saying words. I'm like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Like, I had no idea. Like, the context was so foreign to me, even in 2020. I'm like, yo, I don't know what any of this means. They're like, oh, did you flip Jack on the blah blah? I'm like, and people are like, ha, 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 it's hilarious. I'm like, none of this works. Show somebody rip someone's guts out. That's what I want to see.
it's funny, right? Like, it's funny how comedy is really kind of dependent upon like upbringing and culture and time period, whereas
context.
Context. Whereas if you are able to find something that is timeless, like it's funny back then as it is now, it's like those people are, I hate to use this word, but those people are geniuses, right? Like,
Coming to America is one of those movies.
yeah, like
It is.
that is a movie that crosses over every spectrum and holds up no matter what time period you're in.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
I'm not like a one of those people that just like is in love with the 80s, but the 80s was one of those time periods for comedy, I think, that it just kind of transcended what the medium was giving, right?
Yeah, well, because I feel like it was so Dolemite came out in 75, where it was still in an era just outside of the era where you could be arrested for, like, decency laws.
Yeah,
They-
who was the main guy that constantly kept getting
Lenny
White-
Bruce.
Lenny Bruce.
Yeah, Lenny Bruce was arrested multiple times.
Yeah.
They
You've
even
never
made
watched. You've
mention-
never watched The Marvelous Miss Maisel, but Lenny Bruce is a big character on that show, and like they deal with that a lot. Of like he gets arrested a number of times, and it's like, all right, let me just bail my boy Lenny out of jail. He does all the time, and so you're dealing with 1975, which is a number of years after that, because like Lenny Bruce was like in like the late 50s.
Yeah.
But you're still dealing with, in some parts of the country, decency laws. So in 75, like they were just on the cusp of like just getting outside of that. But by the 80s, they were well past that. And the vast majority of the country had been like, yeah, we've been listening to Red Fox and all this other shit for years. So like, all right, bring it to us in movies. We're fine with it. Like they had distinctively adult movies. So I think that's why you get things like Coming to America that works so well, or another Eddie Murphy movie like the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Like they're still pretty goddamn funny. So yeah, that's more action comedy, but the 80s I think worked that way because they had finally kind of pulled themselves out of that sort of decency, trying to protect everybody from, what's too crass or whatever.
Yeah. Even in this movie, the first record producer he goes to, he's like, the record producer is listening to his stand-up, and he's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Like, nigga, you crazy?
I can't sell this to record stores. What are you crazy?
Right. Meanwhile, Red Fox exists.
Right.
Which is wild. I guess, like, once you hit certain point, like, people would just buy
no
something.
one knows you. It's like, you're not Red Fox. You can't do this.
Right.
Like, nigga, Red Fox wasn't Red Fox at one point. What the fuck does that mean?
Moore gets the inspiration to make a film starring himself as Dolemite. Because he's like, look, I know funny. I know these people. I know a bunch of people been buying my records. I know I'm funny. I know what they find funny. This white people shit ain't funny.
No, it really wasn't, Rudy.
So we should, and he looks up and he was like, if I can, he's inspired, right? He's like, if I can get up, if I can get behind that glass, if I can, get on screen, I could reach a bunch of people, man. And, you see this guy's drive and his ambition. Like this is the inspirational part of this just ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
After being turned down by a film executive played by T.I.
Nigga, stop it. just stop. This guy really gets on my nerves now. After the whole Hyman thing, I'm just like, all right, yo, you need to just go take 1,000 seats. This nigga gets on my nerves. He's a fucking idiot.
Moore, so he gets turned down by T.I. And Moore asks his record company for an advance on royalties from his albums to fund the movie. The record executives are like, okay, but, if you fail, you're basically going to be my slave. And he was like, oh, I'll be your slave, huh? Nobody said slave, but you did. So, yeah, you are. You're going to be my slave.
Surprise.
Rudy Ray Moore gets in contact with playwright Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and played by Keegan-Michael Key.
There you go. Yo, look, he played this role perfect. He did.
Keegan-Michael Key, huge fan of Rudy Ray Moore before getting cast in this film.
Really?
While working on The Predator, the other cast members would come to his trailer to watch Rudy Ray Moore films.
Oh, that's kind of dope, actually.
That is kind of dope, right? Awesome. Especially because, no offense to Keegan-Michael Key, when I see Keegan-Michael Key, I don't think raunchy black humor.
No. If I could be allowed to be a dick for a minute, I don't really see black humor.
I mean, I'm not saying Keegan-Michael Key isn't funny. I
just don't think it's like uniquely black humor. Like that's a very different. I'm being a little bit of a dick, but he
has a very particular style that when he is in his very particular element, he works very well.
Sure, absolutely.
But he likes Rudy Ray Moore, but he is not influenced by him in the slightest. Evidenced his filmography. Yeah. So he contacts Jerry Jones, who, despite the initial reluctance, agrees to write the screenplay. Moore and Taylor go to a strip club to find Rosemary's Baby's actor, Derville Martin, played by...
they ran into him there. They weren't...
Yeah, they weren't looking for him. They ran into him.
Yo, he's an asshole.
Played by Wesley Snipes. Look, I think Wesley Snipes... Wesley Snipes is one of those people that I have an unreasonable amount of affection for, much like you do with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes... Nicolas Cage, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Those probably are the three that I will fight to the death for, no matter what terrible movie they're
Right,
in.
you support him, even though you be like, yo, Nick
right.
Cage is a rough one, buddy.
Right.
I'm still here for you.
Gala Walkers.
Nigga, I made it 45 minutes into that bullshit-ass Country Blade ripoff. And I slept so good. Woo, that movie is boring as shit.
But, so look, I enjoy
Karate
seeing...
with dusters on. Get the fuck off, yo. Come on, yo.
I enjoy seeing Wesley Snipes in movies. And he was very good in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
He ain't D'Urville Martin, though.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in this movie. I think that nigga was really drunk.
Like D'Urville
Yo,
Martin.
he seemed drunk as shit in the whole movie.
Like D'Urville Martin was in Boss Nigga, yo. Like, I can't imagine.
that's right.
Sidekick.
Right.
Right. I
Sidekick,
can't imagine Wesley Snipes.
First of all, too goddamn tall.
Right, because D'Urville Martin was a pretty short guy. At the same time, I kind of want to see Wesley Snipes in a movie about the making of Boss Nigga. Like, I just kind of want to see that, and just playing the character exactly how he's playing it right now. That is totally fine.
Oh, man.
There could be actually a genre of like a subgenre of blaxploitation modern movies of just the making of those movies. I would watch the shit out of them. Fuck it. Let this guy direct all of them. I don't give a fuck. I'd watch every one of them.
So they meet up with...
Was D'Urville Martin gay, by the way?
No. He had a wife, but that doesn't really
That doesn't mean anything. No, because, I mean, he's playing him as like kind of a sassy
aloof
dude.
and...
Well, I mean, he literally at the end of the film, he's like, "Oh, I'll see you later," like to some dude, and he was like, kind of like, "Hey," I was just like, "Okay, I didn't know that. I don't care."
Yeah, no.
Is D'Urville Martin alive? I have no idea. I don't know anything.
He's
else.
long dead.
Yeah, so I just found that interesting. I was like, okay, I didn't know that.
So they offered D'Urville Martin a role in their Dolemite film. Martin is offended by their offer because he was the elevator operator in Rosemary's Baby.
Yo, again, if you told me, like, I'm telling my wife about this movie because she's never seen the original Dolemite. Why would she have? And so I'm telling her about this movie and how it's the story behind that. And she's like, wait. She's like, is Dolemite a real movie? I was like, yeah, it's a real movie. Like, because this shit doesn't sound. It sounds ridiculous for a guy who was the elevator operator in Rosemary's Baby to be offended to be in another movie. Like,
When did Boss Nigga come out?
Oh, I want to say 73, 74. I think it was before Dolemite.
Well, you guys looked that up.
So it was a year before Dolemite? Or did he do it like right after he finished filming Dolemite?
He might have, because I don't know when what the production schedule was for that.
So,
that still has one of the best theme songs of a movie we've ever done.
Yes, it does.
No, because Boss Nigger actually came out in 75. So
might have been doing it at the same time.
yeah, he might have done it like right after.
So yeah,
you know what? It probably was the movie he did right after because he says that he got a call from Fred Williamson, right? And Fred Williamson
right.
wrote Boss Nigger and produced it.
There you go.
So yeah, I guess that's what it was.
So D'Urville Martin was offended by their offer until Moore gives him the opportunity to direct the film himself.
I love that he just was like, "You get to direct." This nigga don't have no directing credit. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Again, clearly. When you watch it.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like, action. Or action. Like, that's it.
Right. Moore and his friends convert the old abandoned Dunbar Hotel into a makeshift soundstage. Jones invites a group of white film students from UCLA to work as the film's crew, including Nicholas Joseph von Sternberg, played by Nightcrawler, as a cinematographer. Mm-hmm. I love how everyone turned into Terrence and was like, I don't want to take orders from these white people.
Yeah. Like, nah, fuck that.
Let's see. Moore, Martin, Jones, and crew begin filming Dolemite, a kung fu themed blaxploitation film.
See, what did I say to you this week? Niggas love kung fu, yeah, they do.
Moore's lack of knowledge of karate and predilection towards camp disgusts Martin. Despite much of the cast and crew having a lot of fun making the film, Martin quickly abandons the crew after filming is completed. All right, they're kind of jumping.
God damn, they jumped super far.
Yeah. So this part of the film is for people who have watched Rudy Ray Moore's films, and it's always fun watching the movies like this redo famous scenes in movies.
It's fantastic.
I very much enjoy it. The one love scene, which I don't remember was in Dolemite. I don't think it was in Dolemite.
No, it didn't.
Where the shit just falls apart.
Yeah,
No, that wasn't.
that wasn't in Dolemite. I think it was in the Human Tornado or something like that. They were like, I don't know what this is, because Rudy Ray Moore is very nervous about a sex scene, right? Because he's got this woman with these big boobs, right? And she's like getting ready to simulate, having sex, right? He looks like Rudy Ray Moore, so he's nervous, right? So him and Lady Reed are talking. They're like, well, just make it funny. And that's what they do. They just make it absurd.
Yo, they have the shit on the wall on strings, so it shit is like rocking up and down as they're having sex, and they got Craig Robinson like moving the bed and shit. That shit was funny, man. It was funny. And then they have the ceiling collapse on them. It was good. Before that, they showed the scene, which is infamous at this point, when the cops come to Rudy to Dolemite's house in the beginning of the movie, and he has that, like, he's in that black and white outfit, and he has like the kung fu fight with them. He don't lift his legs like more than like 2 inches off the ground trying to fight them. And I like that D'Urville Martin is like, he turns to Nightcrawler. He goes, "Is there any angle you can shoot it that make it look like he's kicking him?" He was like, "There is no angle."
He's like, how is that? He's like, I don't see any reason for us to ever do that again. Just walks off.
Yeah, and he was just like yeah, he was so happy. Oh my
Ain't
god!
nothing in my trunk, man.
Yo, the line delivery is hilarious.
My badge is my warrant. Can I get the line out first, please?
This scene is so goddamn funny.
It's so bad. But then when you watch the original scene, like in the movie, it is exactly how they shot it. That guy just jumps into the trunk himself. This shit is funny.
We see during this whole movie making montage, we see a clip of we get back to the heart of the movie, and we see a picture of we see a scene of Rudy Ray Moore looking at a picture of his father, who was like a sharecropper or something.
He's a farmer, yeah.
And a farmer, and yeah, he's just curses like, yeah, you said I wasn't never gonna be nothing, and look at me now. Dolemite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game. And it's I don't know. I get the feeling.
That was very specific. No, but I think that's you kind of push back against somebody who didn't believe in you,
yeah,
or said you weren't going to be anything,
yeah.
Which it's a natural human moment, and there are a couple moments like that where they kind of pull back from all the crazy and all that other shit to just kind of to let you know, like, yeah, Rudy Ray Moore is a goofball, but at the same time, like, he's a guy. He's just like a regular guy.
Yeah, like he's he's not just doing this for. He has vision. Yeah,
it's a crazy vision.
But it's a vision, and most people just kind of go through life waiting for it to happen to them.
Right,
and this guy's not doing that.
Yeah, he tries to make it happen for himself.
There's no excuse. Like, literally, there's no excuse. Look at this guy.
Yeah. No, the fact that we haven't made it just it shows how pathetic we are. Jesus Christ.
I blame white people.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a scene of them making the soundtrack. I only bring that up just because these backup singers are very attractive. That's it. What's up, girl in the gold hat? Goddamn. But yeah, like the music in this movie is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very well done. And like, I don't know if Craig Robinson is actually doing. I mean, I guess he is singing because it's definitely his voice, but his comedy, he does a lot of like playing the piano and singing and shit.
Yeah.
Like that guy is really talented.
He is. I saw him at the TC Improv once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he did that. He brought out his piano and basically was like, "What y'all want to hear?"
Yeah.
And he just took requests, and he would say something like, "All right, you don't know what you want." He would bring people up, and he would be like, "So I'm gonna start playing it, and then you sing it, right?"
Oh my god! I'd be like, he'd call me. I'd be like, no.
But here's the thing, right? Like people would do it, right? And then there was this one guy, this white guy,
Oh boy!
and he gets up there, and Craig Robinson starts playing. Right? You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. He didn't know what it was.
That's a goddamn shame.
And everybody, black, white, the whole improv was just, come on, man. They were screaming at him.
It was like Carrie trying to figure out movies that came out or TV show themes came out 10 years ago.
And then the whole crowd started singing Sweet Home Alabama. And then he was like, oh.
Like, nigga, this is your theme song.
Like,
Didn't your cousin die in that plane crash? Aren't y'all related? Never heard this one before.
Yeah, there are a lot of scenes of just making this movie. There's one scene of Rudy Ray Moore just shooting white people.
Yeah, that scene is one of my favorites.
Making them
just as an aside.
Making them dance. There's they blow up Mike Epps' cousin's car.
Nigga, of course it's Mike Epps' cousin's car. That nigga ain't never owned a car. It's always his cousin's.
Yeah, the scene of the sex scene of just everything just going batshit. This is a fun section in the film.
It is. It really is. And again, if you've seen the original, it makes it work that much better.
Yeah. And then there's just gratuitous boobs, which is always good.
Yep.
So eventually they wrap up filming, and D'Urville Martin. I just like saying the name D'Urville Martin.
Yeah, that's one of the blackest names of all time. Yeah.
D'Urville Martin quickly abandons the crew.
No, hold on. 'Cause this is skipping way ahead. They do the scene of them in the club where
the last action scene.
Yo, this scene is so goddamn funny. Like, one, Wesley Snipes is over the fucking top with this role. Like, he is having too good of a time. But yeah, they go through the whole thing with the kung fu chicks like beating up the dudes and everything. Yeah, it was just great. And then yeah, they show D'Urville Martin get his fucking guts ripped out, which in the movie doesn't exactly happen. He just like kind of grabs him, and then it's just like
he's laying on the ground and just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
And then like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
At one point in the movie, they run out of film.
Yeah.
And he has to go back to the Persian mafia record producers, and it's like, hey, can I get some more money?
Yeah, he won the $30,000.
It's like, all right, slave. I mean, Rudy. And but yeah, eventually they wrap up the movie, and D'Urville Martin is just too through. Like, he's like, all right.
I'm going to go do a classic movie, like Boss Nigger. Right? I can't wait to get this stuff.
Didn't he direct that movie? Who directed that?
No, he didn't
Some
direct
white
it.
dude directed that movie.
Yeah.
No, white people would do anything just to say the word. They really will.
And that dude, I just looked it up too. That nigga was born in 1916. And he was saying nigga all the time.
He was like, wait, what's the movie?
What's the name of this movie I can do?
Oh shit,
Do I
son.
get to say it? Not like I haven't said it before. Fuck you, niggas.
He's like, I'm doing a movie. What's the name of the movie? Boss Nigger. Sorry. I can't stop yelling it out. He definitely did not call it Boss N-word. I can guarantee you. That guy was nominated for an Academy Award at one point.
For Boss Nigger?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And the Oscar goes to Boss. I don't know if I can say it.
No, it was 1975. They were like boss nigger. They were like boss nigger. Like,
Wow, all right, that seems wildly loud. No, that guy went on to do a lot of movies.
D'Urville Martin quickly abandons the crew after filming is completed, but not before belittling the others and proclaiming that the film will never be seen by anyone. Martin's words seemed to be true, as no film distributor agrees to purchase the film. Moore decides to return to touring, though with much less enthusiasm. In Indiana, Moore is asked about the film's release by a local DJ named Chris Rock and remains non-committal about whether the film will ever be seen. DJ Rock says, yo, what are you doing? I'm trying to promote you.
Yeah.
And you just like, well, I don't know.
It's like, nigga, what the fuck is your problem? I was like, oh, there's Chris Rock. There's his personality.
And he was like, look, it could promote. I know a guy that owns a theater. You get in touch with him, and it could premiere in this town if you have enough promotion. So, deciding to take him up on the offer, Moore promotes the film single-handedly around town. So he meets up with the theater owner, and the theater owner's like, all right, I'll play your movie. That'll be $500. And Rudy Ray Moore's like, what? I gotta pay to have my movie shown? Like
yeah.
Yeah, yo. And
That's how movies work.
But you get all the box office, and I get all the popcorn. You get all the popcorn too?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was really funny. He was like, do I get some of that popcorn money? He was like, oh no, that's all mine. That's how lucrative popcorn money is. That guy was like, you can keep the box office money. I don't give a shit about that. Because I only pay a nickel for this popcorn. I'm charging $5 or whatever it was back in 75.
So we see a couple scenes of him just promoting the film, like getting on his bullhorn and just doing some good old-fashioned grassroots noise pollution.
Yeah, I mean, he basically kind of does the same thing he did with his albums, right? Just guerrilla marketing.
Though he spends a lot of money on four-wall distribution, a process through which a studio or distributor rents a movie theater for a period and receives all of the box office revenue, Moore is pleased to see a massive crowd waiting outside the theater, and the audience greatly enjoys the film.
Hey, you did it.
Like clockwork, once a black man starts making money, a white man seeks to come and try to take it all. So, Hollywood film executive Lawrence Woolner, played by Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, whose studio Dimension Pictures had turned down Dolemite previously, finds out about the premiere in Indiana, and contacts Moore with a promise of distributing the film. Moore arrives at Dimension Pictures dressed as Dolemite, along with Lady Reed and the crew dressed up as well. The executives say that although Moore could continue promoting the film himself, he would not see any profits right away. However, Dimension Pictures could put the film in theaters and everyone would profit. Moore agrees and begins working on promoting the film professionally. En route to the Hollywood premiere of the film, Moore and his cast read negative reviews of the film that lower their spirits. Upon arrival, however, the group is astonished to see an even bigger crowd of people cheering them on outside the theater. While the cast and crew go inside the theater to see the film, Moore stays outside to entertain the crowd, who have to wait for the next show, which is, it's pretty fucking great. Right?
Yeah, I mean, his whole thing about, like you had mentioned earlier, his whole thing about getting that negative review and kind of using that because people want to see how bad, how crass the movie is. I mean, that still remains today.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when we review movies on our other show, Coming Distractions, where we just do the short, like maybe 5-10 minute reviews of new movies that come out that we screen. If we say a movie's really bad, people say, oh, I got to see it. Yo, no, we're not telling you. Like, we're trying to save you money.
I'm going to save you $15.
Right, but people have this sort of weird desire to just see how bad it truly
it's
is.
Schadenfreude, man. People love seeing car crashes and train wrecks, especially when it's not,
Them.
them or not like super like real, right? Like Cats is a train wreck for everything.
Yeah,
that
niggas
I've
still
heard.
don't even want to see that.
Right,
Which is crazy.
but they want to see people react to it, but see how bad it is. They want to see a bunch of reviews about Cats because people love. Look, there's a couple of types of videos that people love on the internet, right? One, lists. Two,
top 10.
and two, just people ripping shit apart.
Yeah.
That's what people like to see. On the internet.
Easily our bigger episodes are on movies that we've hated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We look. One of our reviews was like the fourth or fifth review. It was Pariah. It is the movie that you always mention. Like, hey, this is a really good movie. This is a really good episode of the show. What do people tune in for? Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Temptations of a Marriage Counselor. Just a bunch of trash ass movies.
Yeah. I mean, there are podcasts literally based on shitting on trash ass movies every week.
Right.
Yeah.
And they do very well.
We try to give you a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And if that don't work, we go on all fucking Dolemite movies from now on. No, but there is something in that. Like, case in point, one of the best examples of that is in 2019, Venom came out. And that movie is bad. You can try to convince yourself that it's good. It's terrible. But enough people said it was really, really bad that people rushed to see how bad it was. And then they're like, oh, they're going to make another one? Yeah, because y'all make, like, money just talks. Your opinion means nothing if they have $800 million to say that people went and saw it. That's it. What's weird is, like, if you made, like, a middling movie, it wouldn't have done as well. But because it was so bad, people wanted to see it. So, yeah. That whole idea of, like, there's no such thing as bad publicity, like, for some things, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does work. So,
Epilogue, Dolemite broke all records and became one of the biggest grossing hits of that year, grossing over $10 million. Okay, and it's intercut by actual clips from actual Rudy Ray Moore films. Rudy and his friends went on to make 7 more feature films.
that is
7.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the early 80s, early rappers discovered Rudy's rhyming style, and he was universally acclaimed as the godfather of rap.
I mean, he has an interaction with that little kid that feels very similar to that, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought they were just gonna be like, and what's your name? It's like Biggie Smalls.
Right. Like, all right, calm down.
But yeah, this is the movie. Look, this movie's good as a story about a guy trying to make it and doing whatever he can to make it. It's great. As an outright comedy, I mean, there are funny bits in it, but this story is not here to specifically make you laugh,
Right.
and I think I'm very curious. I'm happy for the movie's success, and I'm not trying to take anything away from it.
Yeah.
I hope it does well for Netflix, and I whatever accolades this movie gets, it probably deserves them. But I wonder how people are taking this. I wonder if, like you said, Terrence, if it's just people are happy to see already Eddie Murphy, or if people, actually realize that this is more than just a story about the making of this wacky movie. Like, this is a story about a black man in an era that is more overtly racist than it is now, actually making it.
Yeah.
And that's the moral of this story. It's not just like, hey, how did Birdemic get made? Like, nah, yo, like, right, exactly. Like, this is more than that, and I hope people take that away from this film, and not just like
It's a try. It is, like you said in the beginning, it is a true American dream story.
yeah.
And it's an American dream story a real American dream story, which isn't like a white guy comes and, comes over from England and then he makes it. Like, this guy was from a sharecropper in fucking Arkansas and made it to LA and made movies and albums and became influential in the biggest genre of music in the world.
Right.
Like, I mean, if you kind of look at him from that perspective, he is his life is wildly insane to think that this guy influenced rap and then like to go on from that to it being the biggest genre of music and everything else. Like, this nigga was just up there like, yo, I'm gonna put a crazy wig on and act like a pimp, which I'm telling stories I stole from hobos. Like that, right? Like, how the fuck do you get from A to Z like that? That's absolutely nuts. So it is a true American story. And look, again, Eddie Murphy does a good job. I think he's good in it. But I think that's the thing you should take away from this is that it is more than just like a bunch of comedy scenes. Like there actually is something real there. Now, you might have been able to play that a little bit better at the end, I think. Like the end where he's like, oh, and he made these movies and they did really well and stuff like that. But what they should have done is maybe get some of the rappers who were inspired that like looked up to him as a kid and had them talk. Yeah, I'm sure like probably T.I. and Snoop are probably two of them because that's where they're in.
Snoop especially. Yeah, he had Rudy Ray Moore on like one of his albums or in one of his videos or something like that.
Oh, really?
Intro for something.
Yeah, he was in the intro for one of his songs.
Right. So, like, it would have been kind of cool to, like how they do those, like, little short blurb interviews with people at the end of movies sometimes. Like, that would have been kind of interesting it's kind of like the end of Malcolm X where they pivot from telling the story to actually, they had, like, Nelson Mandela and all these other people, like, having comments about him, which made it feel very real at the end, right? So, you gave it a little bit more gravitas. But I like the ending. I mean, I like that they mentioned, like, yeah, the movie did really well on a $100,000 budget. It says over $10 million, but it was like $12 million. So, that's crazy. That's nuts. Like, I'd like to think that whenever we make our movie that people can shit upon, that it will make $12 million. That would be great.
Doggy Dog World. He was an intro to that.
There you go. So, yeah. No, I have nothing but really positive things to say about this movie. I thought it was really great. It was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a good time with it.
There you go. All right, that's the end of episode 165. Dolemite is my name. Again, if you want us to do a movie in the future, you can always go to blackandblackcinema.com/submit and submit your movie ideas. Look, do us a favor. Make sure we haven't done the movie before. I know some people just like submit. And for some reason they just didn't look back at our past catalog. We have 165 movies that we have done. So, yeah, check back and make sure we haven't done the movie you're requesting before you do that. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week with another preview episode.
See you.
Take it easy.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.